Okay, greetings. Greetings and welcome back to the channel. If for the first time coming across my channel, please remember to subscribe. Now I'm going to bring you something today that is, to me, laughable. But we're going to sit back and watch what's going to happen. Today, Britain changed Prime Minister. And I want to bring you the Prime Minister, the new Prime Minister's speech, what he talked about. And then, please stay with me. After the speech, we will talk about a few points that he hit on so that we can look out for these things and see what is going to manifest. I talked some time before about prime ministers and presidents and how when they come to office, they come with an idea. But once they get in office, there's a completely different shift. I will also play you a small clip. Actually, I will play you that clip first. A small clip on a reporter talking about realistically what happened when they get there and they sit them down. I talked about that before. So I'll bring you these two clips and then we'll talk at the end.
Difficult to predict. I was watching his speech when we first knew he was going to be Prime Minister after getting to become Makerfield MP, and he had this sentence in it that he wanted to turn away from the path that takes us to a divided dark politics of the kind we see in the United States. So really critical of the US. I was listening out. None of that here. And as he walks through those doors, Chris, what's going to happen to him is what happens to every Prime Minister, and we've seen it quite a few times now around. They get sat down, they go through the details, all those intelligence links between us and the US, all those economic links, how one decision by an erratic Donald Trump can really affect our economy. And they start to change their tone. And I already think we're starting to hear him change his tone.
I have just come from Buckingham Palace, where I have accepted His Majesty the King's invitation to form a government. In doing so, I am acutely conscious that I am the sixth person in the last 10 years to walk up this street, the seventh Prime Minister since 2016, making this a moment for reflection and new resolution. It requires my generation of politicians to raise our game and rise to the new challenge. Britain needs to show the world that we can regain our stability once again. And that is our challenge, to make politics work, to make it work better. I know people at home are fed up with politics. I hear you. And I want to be honest with you. We have not been good enough. And we need to be better. We will be. We will make this moment a circuit breaker for Britain, bringing forward the biggest changes in the last 40 years. A new political model and a new economic model. In the 1980s, Britain took some wrong turns. Political power was centralised, economic power privatised, large parts of the country deindustrialised, and they still haven't recovered. Many feel as though they're still in decline, and they don't have the ability to turn things around. And that's why we will change politics, to make it more collaborative, more about problem solving than point scoring. And we will take power out of here and carry it into every postcode in the land so that they can do more. And in doing more, build a new economy where we put life's essentials back under stronger public control to make them affordable to you again. Reindustrialising Britain using public procurement to back British industry. Later this year, I will bring forward a new plan for Britain, a 10-year plan. laying out a path from where we are now to where I believe we all want Britain to be, wherever we're coming from, whatever party we support. But I can do something to give people some breathing space now, some help with the cost of living. And I will set out some of those measures starting tomorrow, including how we pay for them. We will help more young people into work by changing the education system and giving them more support, more mental health support. And we will build more council homes. That is the fair and sustainable way to bring the welfare bill down, to meet our fiscal rules and to honour our commitments on defence to our international partners. We will help people to live well, building a more preventative state, investing in people's success rather than paying for failure. And that work starts now. I will soon go through that door behind me and issue my first instruction to end rough sleeping in our country. It's about putting the right values and the right standards at the heart of government. I will put the care of people at the heart of everything I do. I will give this my all, and I ask you all to pull with me. Let's build a new national sense of unity, of common purpose and positivity. Let us make this the moment when Britain starts to believe again, the moment we bring back hope. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much, everybody.
Okay, now that we've listened, I talked about these prime ministers and these presidents having no power, and these are the people that go to get permission to form of government, and when they sit them down and they realize that they come with an idea and they have to do something else. So I will look for that video if I can find it and put it in the description box so you can listen to what I was saying about that. So he talk about having power and taking power from that building and giving it to the people. That's one of the things I believe, that if he's, what you call it, allowed to do what he's saying, I would be very interested in seeing that, giving power back to the people. Number two, which is, I'm not doing it in order, but is how I put it. Something that I think is also very important is rough sleeping. I pass on the street and you see people sleeping rough all the time. I checked and he wasn't able to completely eradicate rough sleeping in Manchester, where he was the mayor of. So I will see how we get on in eradicating rough sleeping in London, which is a bigger city. The next thing is changing the education system. This is a very important point, and because when you check the kids and they go through what do you call it, primary, in the primary education, I believe is very important. But the primary education, I believe, and it is my experience with my kids, so that's why I'm pointing out that bit. When they finish primary and get to secondary, they do not prepare them in primary for the prison system of the secondary school. So therefore, the kids have the problems that he's talking about. I don't have to say it. He said it if you listen to the speech. And if you do not listen, go back and listen to what he was saying. Help them with psychological problem, and etc. etc. These are things we are neglecting the future. I will leave it at that. Let me go to the next point. Caring for people. This is what governments is lacking. The governments of the world today, I can't speak for the ones I don't know. I'm from the Caribbean. The governments of the world today are the governments of the places I've been and know about, like the Caribbean, some part of Africa, the Americas, the UK, and some part of the rest of Europe. The governments of today do not care about the people. What they care about is those parliamentary people and them families and some business people. Those are the people filling them pockets and don't care about the people at all. So it's good if he would be able to approach that and carefully, because these powerful people with money and power, those will work to try and get rid of him. So I would advise him to do it publicly, not on the low, because if you do it on the low, they will get to you. So do it publicly. And bringing back hope to the everyday citizen. There's many people look like me and some don't look like me who living here in the UK, who is actively thinking about getting out because they can see no hope. So bring back hope to the people that this fears that we're going through will get better. And some of us who want to run away don't have to run away because hope is coming. But let's give him another 2 years, because this first one got 2 years. Let's give him 2 years to see if he's acting on these things that he was talking about. And he was talking rough even before, according to the lady that I played the clip at the beginning. And he leave that out for particular reason. I understand that you have to be diplomatic in things you do. So thank you very much for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And have a wonderful day.
Astana, our US editor, who is with us as well, because as he goes in there and takes over, his number one international relationship is going to be with Donald Trump. And that's quite a difficult relationship to try and predict, isn't it?
Very difficult to predict. You know, I was watching his speech when we first knew he was going to be Prime Minister after getting to make a field MP, and he had this sentence in it that he wanted to turn away from the path that takes us to a divided dark politics of the kind we see in the United States. So really critical of the US. I was listening out. None of that here. And as he walks through those doors, Chris, what's going to happen to him is what happens to every Prime Minister, and we've seen it quite a few times now around. They get sat down, they go through the details, all those intelligence links between us and the US, all those economic links, how one decision by an erratic Donald Trump can really affect our economy. And they start to change their tone. And I already think we're starting to hear him change his tone. There was none of the negative. There was a promise on defence commitment, and we've been hearing about oil and gas over the weekend, how he wants to keep drilling particular contracts that perhaps Keir Starmer would have greenlit anyway. But Donald Trump talking about people in Aberdeen dancing in the streets. Already we're seeing Andy Burnham perhaps shying away from attacking Donald Trump. But let's see. He signalled in Make a Field he might be different.
I mean, one of his first decisions, if you like, is going to be whether to let Donald Trump continue to use British bases to step up attacks on Iran. Trump is now talking more about attacking Iranian infrastructure again, taking the war back to a place it was in earlier this year before the Memorandum of Understanding, before it became confined effectively to military targets around the Strait of Hormuz. Could Andy Burnham's first action really be to say no to Donald Trump?
Well, I think we've seen a real split in rhetoric and reality in terms of Britain and how we've been supporting America when it comes to Iran. Yes, we said no initially for a moment, and Donald Trump has rhetorically punished us for it, but in reality, we've given America a lot of what they want. I think Andy Burnham comes in at a different time to Keir Starmer when it was, you know, they bent over backwards to please Donald Trump. Now it's not popular to do that. So he'll want the rhetoric to continue to look like he's pushing back on Donald Trump. But behind the scenes, I imagine they'll be finding ways that they can help.